Hello, and welcome to In-Depth with Zuri. I'm Zuri Martins. This hour, our focus is technology. We have two reports from the technology desk this morning, in detail. First, in AI and future tech. Meta pauses second wave of AI-driven layoffs after internal AI shortfalls. Meta removed a company-wide second wave of AI-driven layoffs from its immediate agenda, but the pause leaves the firm balancing investor expectations with unresolved productivity and morale problems. Reuters reported the plan, known internally as Project OT for Organization Transformation, was tested for much of the year. At a leadership retreat at Mark Zuckerberg's Hawaii estate in January, executives pitched an AI-native operating model in which software agents would take on routine work and small human pods would supervise them. The shift would have folded specialists into broader builder roles, reduced middle management layers, and used agent-assisted tools to prioritize tasks. Executives modeled scenarios that included cutting some teams by as much as 60%, using layoffs, hiring freezes, and exits of lower-rated employees to reach those goals. Company data complicated the argument for sweeping cuts. Meta counted a 220% year-over-year rise in code changes to its AI platforms and infrastructure, yet the number of new or improved features that reached users grew only 36%. At the same time, technical and security incidents rose 40% and the hours spent addressing those problems increased 70%. The mismatch between engineering activity and user-facing outcomes weakened the evidence that agents could replace large swathes of staff. Mark Zuckerberg acknowledged the gap publicly. At a July town hall, he said the trajectory of the agentic development over at least the last 4 months hasn't really accelerated in the way that we expected, and that the company's investment in AI agents hadn't come to fruition yet. Those comments undercut a business case for immediate, large-scale layoffs. Operational choices added political heat. Meta installed software on U.S. employee machines that tracked mouse movements and keystrokes. The monitoring provoked a wave of internal complaints, a 19-point drop in employee sentiment scores, and a new uptick in labor organizing activity. The backlash raised the reputational and organizational cost of executing another mass reduction. Reuters says Zuckerberg ultimately abandoned or paused the November wave, while Meta framed the more aggressive scenarios as options under consideration. The company still runs smaller AI-assisted teams in pockets of the business and continues to pour money into AI infrastructure. That leaves leadership with two linked problems, technical and human. Turn heavy investment into measurable product and efficiency gains, and navigate the fallout of monitoring and potential job cuts. Investors watching the spending will expect tangible results, and employees now fear smaller, targeted reductions this year or broader moves later in 2027. Next, gadgets. Xbox lets owners convert disc games to digital. Players who own supported Xbox One and Xbox Series 10 discs will be able to convert those physical copies into digital entitlements tied to the individual disc, a change that shifts how players store and move their libraries. Microsoft will start testing the disc-to-digital feature with Xbox insiders on August 31st, then expand availability to Xbox One and Xbox Series 10 consoles in the coming months. Jason Ronald, vice president of Next Generation at Xbox, said, "Most Xbox One and Xbox Series 10 disc-based games support this new feature," and added, "Players can claim a digital entitlement by inserting a supported disc into an Xbox One or Xbox Series 10 console and launching the game." The company says the entitlement is linked to the physical disc rather than a single account, so access follows the disc if a player hands a copy to a friend or signs into a different profile to play. Microsoft also notes that some converted titles, where supported, can be played on PC through Xbox Play Anywhere and streamed across devices via Xbox Cloud Gaming, extending where those converted purchases can run. A leaked memo published earlier this month made clear publishers retain control over which games qualify, meaning not every disc will be eligible at launch. Ronald framed the rollout as incremental, saying, "We're starting with thousands of titles, and we'll continue to add more over time. And, while not every title will be available at launch, this is an important step toward a future where players can have greater confidence that the games they buy remain with them for years to come." The feature arrives weeks after Sony said it will end physical PlayStation game discs for new releases after January 2028. Sony has not announced a way to convert existing PlayStation disc libraries to digital. Microsoft is also bringing Xbox and Xbox 360 games to PC, a move the company says could support future compatibility across platforms. Microsoft has not said whether it plans to stop producing Xbox discs. That was In-Depth with Zuri, with a focus on technology. Every report from today's program and the wider news agenda is at axissignal.com. I'm Zuri Martins, Axis Signal.